Wow, we finally have baseball to talk about after the past couple of days with rainouts between this Phillies and Mets series. And yeah, still definitely recovering from that Thursday loss. Still not over that. And yeah, the Phillies do split the doubleheader with the Mets. They win game one and they lose game two. Honestly, probably should have expected that. Like, what, this Phillies team is going to sweep a doubleheader? Are you kidding me? Especially against the New York Mets. I'd be more surprised if they swept the doubleheader. I'm not even surprised at all that they split it. I'd probably be more expected that they got swept in the doubleheader, but they take one. And I guess at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for right now from this Phillies team. And it's still a little demoralizing from that Thursday loss. Still can't get over that because honestly, you win that ball game, you win this series 2-1. And yeah, technically the series is not over because one of the makeup games is going to be not until August, but still, you win Thursday and probably win this series 2-1 instead of losing it two games to one. So that's a little bit of the difference right there. Good pitching, good defense. Bats were clutch against Max Scherzer in game one. Game two probably went just the way you expected it because the Phillies technically did go with a bullpen game. Because with the stuff coming out this morning with Zach Wheeler and Zach Eflin going to the COVID IL, opinions on that aside, Zach Eflin was supposed to start game two. Instead, you go Christopher Sanchez. And not a knock on Sanchez, but honestly, that just went basically how you expected. Bats go quiet. Pete Alonso goes off. Rhys Hoskins struggling mightily. He had so many chances. Basically, if you look between the Phillies and the Mets in game two, their first baseman did the job, and the Phillies' first baseman could not do the job when he had the opportunities to. Pete Alonso with 2 home runs. Rhys Hoskins had plenty of chances with runners in scoring position. Strikeout and a pop-up. So you split the doubleheader, and that's what we're going to be going over today because I want to get this over with because we got Sixers on in 20 minutes. So I'm going to watch that. I'm going to get some food. I'm going to enjoy my night, hopefully. Hopefully the Sixers make my night better. So yeah, before we get into all this stuff, what is going on, everyone, and welcome back to TTP Sports. The most important thing you can do is hit that subscribe button. I will greatly appreciate that. If you're looking for all the latest Philadelphia sports news, recaps, and events, this is the place to be at, depending on the outcome, great or miserable, depending on the outcome. And if you're a current viewer of the channel, I am grateful for you being here that long and looking to continue that down the road. And if you're looking for tickets to upcoming sporting events, concerts, whatever you can think of, use the code TTP Sports down below for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. So that could be tickets to any upcoming Sixers game, Phillies game, whatever you can think of. It's a free $20 in your pocket. Use that for parking, use that for concessions, anything. It's a great deal. Don't pass up on it. Use the code TTP Sports today for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. So we're going to go over this first game of the doubleheader because overall that was the better game because the Phillies won it. And it was just a better, performance overall because game two was just a slop fest because it was just, completely deadening, I guess. So going over game one of this doubleheader because, Friday's game was rained out. We knew that was going to be rained out from the start. And Saturday there was a good chance for it to get rained out, and it did. So you make up those two games today, or you make up one of the games today, and you play. It's confusing because originally, yes, you were supposed to play a game on Sunday, and then you have one of the makeups with the doubleheader today, and you have another makeup which is going to be in August, which is going to be the doubleheader with these Mets teams. So a lot of confusing stuff, but still continuing on, and I digress. Phillies take the first game of this doubleheader. They win it by a score of 3-2. They put 11 hits on the board. They were hitting Max Scherzer. They were, making him look a little bit uncomfortable, and they gave Max Scherzer his first loss in, I think, what was it, like over a year at this point? He hasn't lost a game since last May, in the 2021 season. So this is his first loss, decision loss in a long time, going back to when he was on the Nationals and then transitioning to when he got traded to the Los Angeles Dodgers. That's been a long time since the man has lost a game there. So yeah, they managed to get to him a little bit. So that was very nice to see. And Kyle Gibson had himself a pretty nice overall game. And the Phillies played some solid defense as well. Alec Boe making a couple of plays. Gene Segura making some good stops as well. So there you go. Defense stepped up in this game, and the offense was just, clutch at bats overall by this ball club overall in this first game. Kyle Gibson, solid. So basically going over this game, go to the first inning, and also happy Mother's Day, by the way. So the Mother's Day game, see all the pink stuff out there, the pink bats, which I absolutely love when the players use the pink bats. And that's exactly what Bryce Harper uses when he crushes a first inning bomb off of Max Scherzer to make it a 1-0 Phillies lead. Goes to the dugout, screams, "I love you, Mom," and all that. So yeah, Bryce Harper gets the Phillies on the board early. Phillies have a chance to score in the bottom of the second. Gene Segura gets caught stealing to end the inning. Phillies got another run in the bottom of the third, though. Kyle Schwarber gets a 2-out single, and then Alec Boehm gets a single as well to move Schwarber over to third base. Bryce Harper gets a bloop single, 2-out RBI, makes it a 2-0 ball game. So the Phillies, so he's 2 for 2 off of Max Scherzer there. And hey, he makes it a 2-0 Phillies lead. And that's basically all you can ask for at that point. Kyle Gibson remaining solid as ever. Go to the bottom of the fourth inning. JT leads off with a single. Gene Segura gets a single as well. So you get a first and second situation. And then Johan Camargo gets a bloop single. But then you get a base running mistake by Gene Segura as he tries to go to third on this play. And that forces JT Realmuto to maybe try to run home, maybe because the other guys are distracted out trying to get Segura. Maybe he can score. And no, he gets caught in the rundown. So instead of that, you got a first and second situation now for Bryson Stott. Oh, yeah. Also, Bryson Stott got called up because Didi Gregorius got added to the 10-day DL. Because remember in the first game of this series where he had that collision with Kyle Schwarber out in left field, I'm assuming that is the reason why. So Bryson Stott got to start at shortstop for these two games in the doubleheader. So most likely, I would assume Stott's going to be starting a lot of games now with Didi out. So we're going to be expecting that, but who knows? Maybe he'll also platoon with Camargo as well. Because Johan Camargo played first base in this game for Rhys Hoskins because they always bench Rhys Hoskins when Max Scherzer is on the bump. That's basically just the entire summary of that. But still, going back to Bryson Stott, RBI single, 2 outs, makes it a 3-0 ball game there. Just your casual little RBI single off of Max Scherzer. And that's weird too, because I think there is a stat out there that says 3 of Bryson Stott's like very few hits that he's had in the majors so far have come off of Max Scherzer. So he sees the ball well for Max Scherzer apparently. So and that's very nice to see. Definitely could use that. But overall, those were all the runs the Phillies scored in the first game. Kyle Gibson was still solid. Got roughed up a little bit in the 6th inning. Marte lead off with a double. Then Guillorme got a single. Then McCann grounded into a double play, which at that point you will take because you allow the run to score, but you get the double play, so you get 2 outs. Brandon Nimmo, 2-out single. Francisco Lindor, 2-out RBI double, goes off the wall, makes it a 3-2 game. But then basically you go to the rest of the ball game. Sir Anthony Dominguez comes out in the 7th inning, though. 2 leadoff walks, though. Leadoff walks, Alonso and Escobar. And then Sir Anthony Dominguez settles down and he strikes out the rest of the batters, strikes out Dom Smith, Starling Marte, and Guillorme to end the 7th inning. So a really good performance there from Sir Anthony Dominguez. Top of the 8th inning, Jose Alvarado comes out, struggling with command as usual, but he managed to get the first batter strikes out, walks Nimmo, so you got a first, walk there with 1 out, but then he manages to strike out Francisco Lindor, and he gets Jeff McNeil to ground out. Go to the top of the night, Corey Knebel, simple, he bounces back from Thursday, gets the 1, 2, 3 inning, strikes out 2 as well, so the Phillies win that game by a score of 3-2. So we go to the lineup today for the game 1. A lot of hits, though. A lot of hits. Phillies had 11 hits. Kyle Schwarber, 2 for 4 in the leadoff spot. Batting average up to 209. Alec Boehm, 2 for 4 in this game. Batting average up to 315. Bryce Harper, 2 for 4. 2 RBIs there. Nick Castellanos struggled at the plate. Went over 4 with 2 strikeouts. He barely missed a home run, too, after the Bryce Harper one as well. The wind killed it right at the warning track. Would have went back-to-back with Bryce Harper if not for the wind. But, hey, he got robbed. Boemed by the wind. JT goes 1 for 4. Odubel Herrera goes 0 for 4. Gene Segura goes 2 for 3. Johan Camargo goes 1 for 4. And Bryson Stott goes 1 for 3 with an RBI. Honestly, Gene Segura was probably the best batter overall in this doubleheader. Definitely needed that out of Gene Segura. Runners in scoring position in this first game, Phillies were 3 for 7. And looking at the pitching, Kyle Gibson, overall, very solid. What you need basically out of Kyle Gibson, 2 runs, I will take any day of the week if he goes 6, 7 innings in a ball game. That's basically all he is, an inning eater. That's what he does. 2 runs, I am perfectly fine with. 6 innings, 6 hits allowed, 2 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, and 72 pitches. 2.94 ERA to start the season for Kyle Gibson. He has overall been pretty solid. Seranthony Dominguez, after the 2 leadoff walks in the 7th, strikes out 3 on 24 pitches. Jose Alvarado gets his job done in the 8th, strikes out 2 on 24 pitches, and Corey Knebel only needs 14 pitches and 2 strikeouts to close the game out for Game 1. So the Phillies win Game 1, 3-2. Then we go to Game 2. Originally, Eflin was supposed to start, got put on COVID IL. So now you got to go to a bullpen game, which I guess at the end of the day, the result is basically what you expected. The Phillies lose Game 2 by a score of 6-1. Bats went quiet, and the pitching overall wasn't the best because Pete Alonso, being pretty annoying, doing his damn thing out there. That's basically what he did. So basically going over this game, I'm going to try to go over this as quickly as possible. So Pete Alonso, 2-out situation. Sanchez gets the first 2 guys out. Nimmo strikes out. Canna lines out. Francisco Lindor gets a single, 2-out single. And then Pete Alonso, 2-2 count. Ball right down the middle of the plate, and he did not miss it whatsoever. He crushes it through the wind. Makes it a 2-0 ball game. Phillies have a chance in the bottom of the first inning, though. Alec Boehm reaches out on an infield single. Nick Castellanos gets a 2-out single as well. And then there's a balk situation in this at-bat to Rhys Hoskins. So technically, on this pitch, it was a 3-2 count, I believe. Bassett balks, even though I have no idea why the umpire called a balk. I didn't even see any indication of why he would be called a balk. But on that pitch, Rhys Hoskins technically struck out, but the umpire called the balk. So now Castellanos and Boehm, they move to second and third base. So Rhys Hoskins, you get a do-over there with 3-2. Got guys on second and third. Maybe you could tie this ball game up with a single. What does he do? He strikes out on the exact same pitch in the exact same location. Rhys Hoskins strikes out with a chance to bring home some runs. Go to the bottom of the second inning, though. Gene Segura leads it off with a home run, makes it 2-1. That's its 100th career home run in his major league career, so congratulations to him. Mets, they score again in the top of the 5th. You got Nick Nelson out on the mound there. So overall, there was some pretty solid, couple of innings here. The Phillies did have a chance in the bottom of the 3rd inning as well. Kyle Schwarber and Alec Boehm lead off the inning, getting on base. Kyle Schwarber with a single and Alec Boehm reaching on with a fielding error. Bryce Harper strikes out, Nick Castellanos lines out, and Hoskins fouls out. So once again, another situation for, Rhys Hoskins. He comes up, short. At the end of the day, too, Bryce Harper and Nick Castellanos got to do something in that situation as well. But that was the second chance for Rhys Hoskins in this game. And that's what stands out to me the most. Rhys Hoskins not coming up clutch with guys on base. So we go to the top of the 5th inning. Nino leads off with a single, and then Brandon Nimmo singles up the center. But then you get a great play by Roman Quinn, throws the ball to third base, gets Nito out trying to go to third. Also a great tag by Alec Boehm to get him on his foot before he touched the bag. So instead of a first and third situation with no out, you get just a regular single, 1 out, and you got Mark Canha up. This is Nelson on the mound still, by the way. He was out there for a couple of innings. So he walks Canha next, and then he gets Francisco Lindor the pop up. So you get a 2-out situation for Pete Alonso with 2 guys on base. First 2 pitches, balls, and then just a meatball right down the middle of the plate, and Pete Alonso crushes it basically onto the concourse in left field under the second deck. Makes it a 5-1 ball game. Second bomb of the game for Pete Alonso, and that's basically all she wrote for this ball game. Phillies looked dead basically the rest of the game offense-wise. Mets got another run in the top of the 6th on a wild pitch by Andrew Bellotti. That scored a run there. Phillies had some chances, but basically nothing going for them the rest of the ball game, and that's basically all she wrote for it. Mets win that game by a score of 6-1, and going to the lineup for, the second game, more quiet in that standpoint. Phillies only got 6 hits in this game. Kyle Schwarber went 1 for 4. Alec Boehm went 1 for 4. Bryce Harper struggled in this game, went 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Nick Castellanos goes 1 for 2. Rhys Hoskins, technically he goes 1 for 4 because he had a double later in the ball game. It was close to going out, but it went off the fence and came back into the park. So technically he goes 1 for 4, but he had huge opportunities with guys in scoring position and didn't come up clutch. And that's where I go to, even though Pete Alonso and Rhys Hoskins are 2 completely different players, their roles are technically the same. They're guys, they're not going to give you a high batting average. They'll give you maybe on a good year a 252, maybe a 270, 280 batting average. Solid there. And then they're basically paid to drive in runs and mash the ball out of the ballpark. Pete Alonso did his job today, hitting 2 bombs with runners in scoring position. Rhys Hoskins, his chances, he's really struggling. He is really struggling. He is batting 189 on the year coming into May. And he also had an error at first base today. So basically just the icing on the cake for how much Rhys Hoskins is struggling. And I know at this point, I'm really critical of Rhys Hoskins. I don't hate the guy whatsoever. I actually do like Rhys Hoskins. I'm just very critical of him because I know he is way better than what he is providing on the field right now. And we know what Rhys Hoskins is. We know his cold streaks are insanely cold. And we know his hot streaks are insanely hot where he's hitting home runs left and right. We're in the midst of one of those huge slumps by Rhys Hoskins. So hopefully, eventually, when he wakes up, that'll be followed by an insane hot streak by Rhys to, wake up a little bit here. Because he definitely needs it. Like, we need him to wake up right now, especially like Rhys Hoskins specifically. Because right now, Alec Boehm has been, I would say, more consistently your best hitter. Bryce Harper has been a lot better at the plate in the past couple of games. Nick Castellanos is consistent at ever. Kyle Schwarber is looking a lot more better at the plate. He got a couple of hits in both of the ball games today. Gene Segura, the bat's starting to wake up from these 2 games as well. So we really need Rhys to start coming up clutch, especially. Runners in scoring position in this game. Phillies go 0 for 6. Also with the rest of the lineup as well. Bryson Stott went 0 for 4. Garrett Stubbs goes 0 for 4. And Roman Quinn went 0 for 3. Pitching-wise, basically what you expect. Sanchez, he goes 2 1/3 innings, allows 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk on 51 pitches. Nelson, 2 2/3 innings, 4 hits allowed, 3 earned runs, 1 walk. And both of those guys allowed home runs to Pete Alonso. Bellotti allows a run on a wild pitch. He pitched an inning. Brogdon pitched an inning, got 2 walks, but managed to get out of that situation. Brad Hand was solid in his 8th inning of work, got 2 strikeouts, and Norwood was used for the 9th inning, basically, and got out of that unscathed, very surprisingly. So you split the doubleheader, and now you are 12 and 16 on the season with an insanely tough stretch coming up. Insanely tough. Because you're going to be playing the Seattle Mariners, and it looks like right now with the pitching wise, since you have Zach Wheeler and Zach Eflin both on COVID protocol or the COVID related IL, and there's going to be some question marks going into the series with the Seattle Mariners because Zach Wheeler is supposed to start game 2. And if he's not off COVID IL, I'm not sure what you're going to be able to do. Same thing with Zach Eflin. He's supposed to start during the Los Angeles Dodgers series. Who knows what's going to happen during that situation? So there's a lot of question marks in regards to that. But in terms of the pitching matchups that the Phillies are going to be seeing for this upcoming, road trip, it's going to be, very, very difficult. The pitchers that the Phillies are going to be set to face, this is from Corey Seidman from NBC Sports Philadelphia. The pitchers that they're expected to face on this 7-game West Coast trip, he lists 5 of them. Robbie Ray, who won the 2021 AL Cy Young for the Mariners. Logan Gilbert for the Mariners, who has a 1.36 ERA. Walker Buehler, who's a young stud and is a 2.12 ERA. Julio Urias, who has a 1.88 ERA for the Dodgers. And Clayton Kershaw, because it's Clayton Kershaw. So yeah, Philly's going to be seeing some tough pitching this week. Tough pitching. Got to get the bats ready and going. Bats got to come up clutch here. And we knew after the Thursday game, after that insanely blown lead, just horrible game, just embarrassing way to end the ball game, we all saw the report with Bryce Harper holding a very short, closed, just players-only meeting, basically just saying this game does not define who we are. We are way better than this. And the players, they responded in game 1. They got shut down in game 2. We got to see how they respond on this West Coast road trip. We got to see. The pitching has been overall in the past couple of weeks, the pitching has been fairly solid. Offense has been hit or miss. Right now, we got to find a way to get both things going consistently. And hopefully it'll start on this road trip because the stretch just doesn't get any easier from here, especially in this month of May. Mariners, Dodgers, Padres, you're seeing the Dodgers 7 times in the span of a week and a half. Braves for a 4-game series. You're seeing the Mets once again at the end of the month and the San Francisco Giants. And the Los Angeles Angels, who are no joke in themselves because they are off to a hot start as well this year. So yeah, you're going to be seeing Robbie Ray in the 2nd game of the series and Gilbert in the 3rd game. Suarez is going to be on the mound for Monday's game in Seattle. Aaron Nola is expected to pitch Wednesday. I'm assuming that's Zach Wheeler that was supposed to start in Seattle on Tuesday. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. And I'm assuming this blank spot right here in the first game against the Dodgers on Thursday, that was supposed to be Zach Eflin. So it's going to be a question mark on how they can know. Hopefully, this is like a whole situation where they're symptomless and they can immediately come back off COVID IL. That's going to be tough if those two guys are on COVID IL for a little bit, especially with their starts coming up. Well, Zach Eflin was supposed to pitch today, but especially with Zach Wheeler's start coming up this week, that's going to be tough. So, gotta, grind through the process, I guess, at this point. So, yeah, overall, I guess the day went basically as you expected. So, overall, okay, you split the doubleheader. Okay, move on. Move on at this point. You're not going to see the Mets for another few weeks. And then basically the next time you see the Mets, you won't see them again until August. So you're going to be getting a huge break from the Mets after this month of May. Go and win your other series, even though this month is going to be insanely tough. Find a way, get the bats going. Got to find a way to get consistent pitching and bats at the same time. Find a way to get hot. Find a way to go on a hot streak, because there is eventually going to be a hot streak. This team is just not going to go on a hot streak this year. So still, coming off of Thursday's loss, it's still like dwindling in my mind, which is why I'm just like, oh, you split the series against the Mets. Ooh, I'm not going to get excited over that. Overall, right now, go on the West Coast road trip and prove something. That's what I'm saying. Go on this West Coast road trip and prove something. So that's going to do it for this video, everyone. What are your thoughts on this? And what are your thoughts on basically everything coming up? I want to hear those thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. So don't forget to leave those down there. Do not forget to drop a like on this video. Do not forget to check out the Painted Lines, which I'm a part of. Their links are down in the description below. Also, don't forget to check out the links to BrodesMedia, the Flyer.pod merch website, and also Flyers Nitty Gritty. All that good stuff is down in the description below. Do not forget to check those out. And like I said at the beginning of the video, the most important thing you do is hit that sub button, and also use the code TTPSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek, and I will see you next time.